Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Where do I even begin? Fuck me, Dad. Alright. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Sunday football review for round 1 of the 2022 NRL season. We saw 2 games of football. We saw the Eels beat the Titans 32-28 there at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. And we saw the Bulldogs defeat my Cowboys 6 points to 4 in a very dour affair. It was a very, very sloppy game. It was one that I wish that I didn't have to watch. It was, in my opinion, the worst game of the weekend. The Cowboys in the first half looked a lot better. Second half, Bulldogs were probably the better team. And then I thought we won the game with 2 minutes to go, and then it ended up being offside. And the pain! It just hurts losing that. It just hurts. But I'm not going to blame the referees. The referees had nothing to do with it. We had enough chances in that game to win the game by ourselves. We had 80 minutes to win that game, and for some reason we tried to win it in the last 2 minutes, which I don't understand why we did that. But credit to the Bulldogs; they got the job done over us. They got home. We lost the game ourselves, and it's our own fault. Don't blame the referees. We had the whole game to win it, and we didn't do it. It's as simple as that. Well done to the Bulldogs. We'll move on to next week, but joining me to help me review both Sunday games is CJ MOXLEY. CJ, mate, first things first, thanks for coming on for the review. And how are you feeling from Friday night after losing to Broncos?
Well, it's not the best feeling at the moment, losing to Broncos. I think we had almost every advantage going into that game, but it's only round 1 and we take our focus to Melbourne on Thursday night.
Yeah. We will get into the Bulldogs and Cowboys game in just a sec. I don't know. I still don't know what to make of it. I'm still a little bit annoyed about the way we lost. I felt like losing 6-4 at home first game was quite disappointing. Before we get into we might as well just have a brief chat over it. But CJ, what do you think about the Cowboys Bulldogs game? It was a very sloppy game, wasn't it?
I didn't enjoy it at all one bit. It was very sloppy, very error prone, specifically from Canterbury. A lot of the decisions were a bit dodgy with the refereeing, but obviously it didn't. I don't think the refereeing impacted the result of the game, but there were some results that were a bit controversial. As you said earlier, it was the worst game of the round, in my opinion. And,
no doubt. Look, if I'm being honest with you, if I was not a Cowboys fan, if I was supporting somebody else, I could have felt like watching this game. It was that bad. It was a really, really bad game. It was shocking. We will dissect the Cowboys Bulldogs game a little later on, but first I want to get into the Eels and Titans review. Now, this game was a cracker. Probably the game of the round with the Dragons and Warriors. I think those two are probably the best 2 games of the round. But I'll start with you first, TJ, mate. What did you think about the Eels-Titans game? It was very entertaining, wasn't it?
Game of the round for me, for sure. I really enjoyed it. It was very fast-tracked, fast-paced to start off with. Sean Russell, what a player he's becoming. Obviously, the Eels started quick, leading 10-0 within the first 10 minutes, and the Titans made a quick comeback. 28, I believe it was 26-22 at half-time, so it was a very fun half. So, I really enjoyed it. I think both teams played well. especially with some of the players that were out. Some of the key players were out, so they did both well. But I think the Eels got the result in the end, and I think it was a fair win from Parramatta.
Yeah, it was a good game of football, actually. The first half was crazy, wasn't it? All the points in the first half. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like a game of friggin' basketball. It was just friggin' back and forth, back and forth. It was insane. I couldn't believe the first half. It was extremely entertaining. First thing I want to do about the Eels and Titans game, I want to give a mention to Sean Russell, Parramatta Eels winger. He had a blinder. He had a hat trick in the first half. He looked like $1 million, and then obviously Jaden Campbell with a bit of an accidental knee to Sean Russell's ribs. I hope Sean Russell gets well soon. That was a brutal collision. I understand he's got a couple of broken ribs or something. So hopefully Sean Russell gets well soon. And mate, what did you think about that tackle too from Jaden Campbell?
I don't think it was intentional. There was no ill intent in it. Unfortunately, it was just a defensive error. Obviously, Sean Russell's been taken to hospital and will miss a month of football. I wish Sean Russell the best of recovery. He's a good kid coming through, but I don't think Jaden Campbell should be suspended over it. It was unintentional and just something that just went wrong.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I'll give you my opinion on that very soon. I reckon it should have been an 8-point try or even a sin bin. But let's get into the Eels and Titans game. I'm going to dissect it now. So the Eels got off to a very fast start, didn't they, in the 3rd minute? Sean Russell scoring the first try of the game. Eels go to left side to Reid Marnie, to Gutherson. Gutherson to Russell. Russell goes over and scores in the corner. Poor defense there from Greg Marzhew. Marzhew wasn't even meant to play. He sort of just came in because Corey Thompson was brought out a couple hours before kickoff. What do you think about this try from Sean Russell? Very nice try for the Eels.
Are you talking about the one where it comes off the post or the first one?
No, not that one. The first one where I went Marnie to Gutherson, the cutout ball.
First one, yeah, Marnie obviously made a good run there. Gave it to Gutherson, Sean Russell. I think that tight end's right side was very defensively weak. And I think, Sean Russell looked like $1 million over on that right side. So
that was a good try. Good start for the Eels. 4-0 after 3 minutes gone. And then we get to the 8th minute where Mitchell Moses put up a huge bomb from like 55 meters away. It hit the padding of the goalpost. Greg Marzhew, Paul Marzhew misses the ball. Brown kicks it along the ground to Sean Russell, who ends up scoring his 2nd try of the game. Yeah. This was the craziest try of the fucking weekend. That
was a lot to dissect. I mean, it was just the ball went everywhere and it ended up with a Sean Russell double. You backed Sean Russell's double, which was pretty impressive. So for him to get it under 10 minutes,
hat trick.
Yeah,
that was an unbelievable try. I thought that was exciting. Now, people are going to say Moses did not deliberately do that. It was a flukish try. I don't agree. Halves love to kick towards the post and the padding nowadays because it can confuse the fullback and the wingers. So the kick from Moses was exactly where he wanted it. Well done, Parramatta. 10-0 lead for Parramatta. And then the Gold Coast, they hit back in the 10th minute where Philip Sammy scores over in the corner with a nice pass from Toby Sexton. CJ was the pass forward.
I look at it. I don't think it was forward personally, but it was very. I think it was the backwards out the hand thing, but I can see why people do think it was forward. It did look like that, but I think the trial's fine.
I reckon it was forward. I do. I reckon it was a forward pass. I reckon Titans got it very lucky with that one there. Thought the pass from Sexton was a little bit forward, but full credit to the Titans. A nice try there to Philip Sami. Eels go to 10-6 after 10 minutes gone, and then we get to the 18th minute where Mitchell Moses with a beautiful short ball to Sean Lane. Lane goes in to score a very nice try. Poor defense there from Paddy Herbert and Toby Sexton. What do you make of that try? Moses short to Lane.
Good try. Obviously, the momentum brought Sean Lane over the line. The Titans' defensive, they weren't there in defense. Another poor defensive set from the Titans, and I think the Sean Lane's momentum brought him over that line, so it was a fair try.
It was a nice try. And the Eels at that point go to 14-6. And then we get the Titans who, again, they hit straight back in the 22nd minute where Brian Kelly goes in to score. Titans were just a simple block play to the left-hand side. Brian Kelly scoring. Very nice try from Brian Kelly, wasn't it?
Yeah, he ran through that defensive line of Parramatta. So, obviously, that side that he went through was also weak in defence for Parramatta. It was a good try. He just ran through him like nothing. And yeah, Brian Kelly, very good game as well tonight.
Yeah, good try from the Titans. At that point, Eels 14-12. 27th minute, Wagga Blake scores. It was a very nice offload from Regan Campbell-Gillard, and then it went from Dylan Brown to Sean Lane to Blake, and then Wagga Blake ends up getting to the try line to score. This was another great try from the Eels as well. Wagga Blake scoring.
At first, I thought it was going to go out at one point, but Wonga Blake obviously, gave the ball in a good position and scored there. So, yeah, fair try to him, and yeah, good on Wonga Blake there.
Yeah, very nice try there. So at that point, what will be 20-12 Parramatta, and then the Eels they get out to a nice lead here, where in the 32nd minute, Sean Russell gets his hat trick. Gutherson to Moses, Mitchell Moses, beautiful ball to Sean Russell. Russell scores his hat trick. Jaden Campbell comes in with the knees right in the ribs. Now, usually, contact like that with the knees usually resolves in a possible 8-point try, potential sin bin. For me, I think it should have been an 8-point try. What do you reckon?
Look, for me, it'll be a bit controversial, but I think, obviously there was no ill intent there. So I think it was just, like I said earlier, a very bad defensive read, and he's gone in and he's slid and he's hit him right in the ribs, broken a couple. I can't argue with the fact that, it could have been an 8-point try. I think it goes either way. If it was an 8-point try, I wouldn't be too mad about it. I think either way it was fair. It was a fair decision.
I think it should have been. I think it should have been an 8-point try. You can't come in with your knees like that. Whether it's deliberate, whether it's accidental or not, you just can't do it. You're not allowed to do it. So, should not have been a try. Should not have been. It's just a try. Should have been an 8-point try potentially, or even a sin bin. I thought it was foul play. Really, when you think about it, it was foul play. But anyway, Parramatta at that point, 26-12, good lead. And then the Titans, they have a very good last 4 minutes of the first half, where Aaron Clark in the 36th minute goes from dummy half and scores. A pretty soft try, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, that's the Eels defense. That was very soft. Aaron Clark went over and had a bit of run and just scored. Nothing much to say about a try, just a normal try for me. But the Eels should have defended that a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. At that point, with 26-18 Parramatta, then the Gold Coast in the 37th minute, David Fafita with a huge run downfield.
Yeah.
Massive run. This was good to watch. This was outstanding. Good run downfield. Gets tackled. Titans spread the ball left, and Brian Kelly gets his second try of the game. Mate, how about that run from Fafita?
Oh, Fafita, wow. Look, he's obviously in and out of the game a lot, but that run was just it was unreal. It was probably the best run all game, I reckon. He's just palmed the Parramatta defenders off, offloaded it, gave it, and set up for a Brian Kelly double, which was amazing.
That was a brilliant try. And at that point, half time, Parramatta 26-22. This first half was insane.
Mate.
I love high-scoring games, but far out. The right side defense from both teams was dreadful, wasn't it?
Yeah, but to leak in over 20 points in a first half to begin with is just something that teams shouldn't be doing. I don't know if it was bad attack, a good attack and bad defense, or a bit of both. But to leak in 20 points within 40 minutes on both sides is disappointing for both teams, and they need to look at that and fix that up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then we get to the second half, which was a bit more defensive. 42nd minute, Philip Sammy goes in to score his second try of the game. Will Smith pulled up a huge bomb, and Sammy ended up scoring. Very, very nice try from the Gold Coast.
And he done the Gufferino on Guffer.
Yes, he did. That was very savage, wasn't it?
It was a good banter try there. It was a good try.
Titans go in front, 28-26 after being down 26-12. We get to the 65th minute where the Eels get a penalty. Sam Lasone did not clear the ruck. Mitchell Moses takes the 2. Was that a fair call? Lasone didn't clear the ruck.
No, he didn't. He didn't really clear the ruck.
28 all with 15 to go. And then this is where the Titans fans were starting to get upset.
Yep.
70th minute, penalty goes to Parramatta. Gutherson kicks it, gets taken out. I mean, it happened to Sam Walker in the Roosters game, and it was a penalty. And in this game, it happened again, and I think it was a penalty. I know maybe he took a little bit of a dive, but look, if you kick the ball when you take a player out of the ball, it's going to be a penalty.
I
And
think it
I
was.
think it was the right decision.
I think it was a penalty. I think it's fair. I agree.
If someone kicks the ball and you're running and you get taken out of the ball, it's going to be a penalty every time. So fair call. Parramatta go to 30-28 with 10 to go. And then in the 78th minute, Patrick Herbert goes for a short dropout, hits the fucking corner post. One of the worst short dropouts I've ever seen in my entire life was a blowjob.
He had a shocker.
And Moses wasted like a minute and a half on the clock, which was legal, by the way.
It was legal, but I was so annoyed when he was doing that.
I was annoyed that they wasted that long on the clock, but you play by the rules, and the referees are telling you what the rules are, because the referees know them, because that's why the referees. So penalty goal was from Parramatta. Eels 32-28. Titans got a short kick off. Papali'i makes a run down the sideline. Doesn't really matter. He gets tackled, and that ends up being the game. Eels win 32-28. A very entertaining game at Combank Stadium. What do you think of the game? Game of the round, you reckon?
Game of the round for sure by a mile, I reckon. I really enjoyed, from start to finish. It was very fast pace. All players were up for it. At first, I thought Parramatta, like within the 10 minutes, I was like Parramatta's going to go on to win by 30 or 40 because obviously both teams did very well. Obviously, Parramatta had no Sevo, Brown, Opacek. Titans had no Thompson or Brimson. So I'll give credit to both sides and, how they performed. But the defense needs to be looked at, especially on the right side for both teams.
Yeah, both teams have got a fair bit to work on defensively. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We'll go through some of the players, mate. Clint Gutherson. I thought Gutherson had a good game, but he seemed to be a little bit quiet.
It was one of the games where he was doing the little things right, but he didn't involve himself too much. Obviously, that try with Marnie to Gutherson to Russell, I think that
was nice.
Probably the main.
But he's had more busy games.
Yeah, it's probably that was probably the main point of his game, but he didn't do nothing too bad. He done all the little things right, so Gutherson was okay for me.
Yeah, Sean Russell had a really good game, even though he got injured.
That's my man of the match.
What?
That's my man of the match. He didn't even play 80, and he's impressive.
Oh, well, he had a great game, and he got injured, which was a shame. Who else had a good game here? What'd you think of the halves? Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses. What'd you think of them?
Yeah, look, they had an all right game. I don't think they did nothing too special. They did what they could. They still have a bit more time to click, but yeah, look, they were all right. They did what they had to do and came away after the result. I think Moses was the better half out of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Mitchell Moses was really strong. I thought his kicking game was really strong as well. Campbell Gillard and Junior Paulo were outstanding. I thought Junior Paulo was probably the best player on the field, to be honest.
Paulo comes close for me. He is debatably the man of the match with Sean Russell. Junior Paulo came on with that impact and just, mate, it was unreal. And RCG, yeah.
Reid Marnie had a good game as well, didn't he? Reid Marnie was very good.
Reid Marnie was really good with the ball running ability. So
Papali'i and Sean Lane also looked very good. Ryan Madison at lock, I enjoyed that. He had a really strong game at lock.
I think we found our lock depth for Parramatta, man.
Yep. Also, off the bench, I thought Makatoa was good. Oregon Kafusi as well. Mate, when Jacob Arthur came on the field and played 5'8" because of a couple of injuries and stuff, I thought Parramatta were going to lose when he came on the field. Some of his decisions were dreadful.
There was no creativity in his decision or kicking. So, look, I don't think he was bad, but he could have done more better.
Now let's go to the Gold Coast Titans, shall we? The Titans. Jaden Campbell was exciting, wasn't he? What do you think of Jaden Campbell?
I really enjoyed Jaden Campbell. Besides the knee to the ribs, he had a really solid game. He's a good kid.
Yeah. Philip Sami had a good game, I thought. Brian Kelly was good. I think you agree with those two.
Yeah, Sami and Brian Kelly were outstanding, I reckon.
Patrick Herbert was dreadful in defence. He had a shocker.
Worst on ground.
Greg Marzou was awful, which was disappointing because I like Marzou.
Yeah, he's a good player, just didn't stand up today.
Will Smith at 5'8" wasn't too bad either, was he?
I didn't like him at 5'8".
Toby Sexton, what do you think about Toby Sexton?
Sexton was all right. I don't think he was
solid.
Anything special, but he did the job that he had to do at the halves. So, yeah, look, he was good, but I'm still not convinced with Toby Sexton yet.
Yeah, I thought maybe Fodawaker played well.
Right.
Mate, Aaron Clark, I know he scored a try, but besides that, what did he do?
For me, he was quiet. He didn't really run the ball too much besides that try, obviously. Uh, yeah, Aaron Clark, I don't really see him as a long-term hooker for the Titans. If they want more, ball effectiveness, they want to go in with someone like an Aaron Booth or a Tanner Boyd, not
Yeah,
Aaron.
yeah. Isaac Liu's first game, I thought he was okay. Definitely could be doing a bit more, though.
Yeah, look, he was in the game, but I didn't see too much of him. I didn't see too much of Isaac Liu. I think he probably did provide that leadership around the team, but other than that, I don't think he really did much.
David Fafita, the big one.
Just like every game, he was
It's
in
the
and out
same
of it.
thing with Fafita, isn't it?
He
He's
was
in the
in and out
game
of
for
it.
a while, then he doesn't get the ball for.
40-minute player.
Sorry, mate, my connection just decided to die in the ass, did it?
Yeah, look, like you said, he's an in and out player. First half, I think he was outstanding. Second half, I didn't really see much of Dave Fafita.
Like Fafita, like he was in the game, he was doing some really good things for a while, and then he goes quiet for a while. Like I don't get it. Like I understand the halves have got to work with him and stuff, but David Fafita needs to have a lot of touches. He needs to get a lot of ball, and he needs to be creating stuff on that edge. Now, I think today he was very solid, but I'd like to see him to be more involved in the game.
He was definitely the dominant player on that edge, but I'll say that much.
When Fafita doesn't get the ball, I reckon he should have a license where he can go in the middle and roam for it and play a bit in the middle.
Sure, because it would be much more effective like that.
And, you got tired front rows, and then Fafita could just bust through and get away from him with his footwork. Wouldn't be a bad idea. But Thermal was very quiet too.
I rate both form were very high, but yeah, he didn't really do much to impact the game at
Tino
all.
was quiet too, I reckon.
Tina, I didn't even realize Tina was playing. I just seen one run up, and that's about it.
On the bench, Lasone and Jolliffe were fairly solid, you reckon?
I think Jolliffe was the better one out of them.
And Kevin Proctor and Tanner Boyd did not really much.
Proctor, not much. I think Tanner Boyd was all right.
Overall assessment on the game, bro, I thought it was a very solid game of football. Really enjoyed the match. Probably the game of the round, along with the Dragons and the Warriors game. I would probably say this is probably the game of the round. Mate, who would your top 3 players on ground be for the game?
My top 3 players on ground for the Sharks and not the Sharkies, the Power Titans. It's tough because there were some like really big standouts in that game, but I'm probably gonna have to go with one of them would have to be Junior Paulo.
Yeah.
Sean Russell, and probably for the Titans, I'll go Philip Sammy.
So Junior Paulo's your man of the match?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go with number 3 is going to be Brian Kelly. I thought he was very good today, Brian Kelly. Number 2, I'm going to go with Mitchell Moses. And number 1, I'm going to go with Junior Paulo. Junior Paulo is my man of the match. I thought he was phenomenal.
That's fair enough, yeah.
All right. Hang on, my connection's a bit blurry. There we go. Sorry if the connection's blurry, guys. I am using my hotspot, so I haven't got any Wi-Fi, so not much I can do. Oh, God. Here we go. I don't even want to talk about this game. I'm so frustrated about this performance. The only thing I'm happy about is our defense. Our defense was very good, but it seems like we lost our attack. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because we didn't have drink water. Maybe we need that extra spark.
I think Geedon was fine.
Mate, what do you think about the Cowboys and Bulldogs contest?
Worst game around. I didn't like it at all. It was from the get-go, it was very sloppy, very error-prone. The attack there was no attack. Every time, there was a chance, both teams blew it, and I'm not convinced with both teams yet after that performance. It was the battle of the errors for me. It's just
it was hard to
costed themselves a lot, both clubs.
Oh, mate, it fucking hurt me, I tell you. It was a painful game. It was really, really hard to watch. Look, I don't want to put it all on one player, and I don't want to put it all on actually one man, I should say. But my God, Todd Payton, what is he doing? What is he doing?
He'll be
Jason
gone.
Taumalolo played 52 minutes. How are you going to get anything out of Taumalolo playing
I
in
thought he would
52
have. I
minutes?
thought he would have learned from last year.
He hasn't learned anything. And he said a couple of weeks ago, we will play Taumalolo more minutes this year. We will play him more.
Played him less.
Did Todd Payton and the Cowboys just say that so they wouldn't get media attention?
That's what it seems like right now. That's what it seems like.
My God.
Because
My God.
you see all the pundits like Cowboys footer wouldn't spoon. So I think Todd Payton's trying to create that confidence, but he's not backing it up.
Well, he ran for 143 meters. He tried hard. If he played another 10, he might
played
have
his
been
guns
200
off.
and had a great game.
Payton needs to go, man. I know it's only round 1, but he has to go.
Oh, fuck. I'm just so annoyed, man. First game of the season. We're at home. Big crowd at Townsville. Last game of the round. Playing last year's Wooden Spooners. I know we've got a new halfback and a new centre in the spine, in the team. Trying to get things going. We started the game off fairly well. And then we just...
Slept.
I don't know what happened at halftime. We got out to a 4-0 lead. We did not look great at all, but we led 4-0. I was pretty okay with that. And then we let the Dogs in. Oh,
That's
man.
where the wheels fell off. The confidence went down and just drained us after that.
Oh, mate, it was just so fucking frustrating, man. And the Bulldogs weren't even good. Like the Bulldogs only won the game because we couldn't. I mean, if Holmes kicked the goal from the sideline, we go the golden point, don't we?
The Bulldogs weren't much better either. I wouldn't be convinced with that win. They're up against Brisbane with Reynolds coming back. Performing like that, they're going to get absolutely flogged.
And the Cowboys play the Raiders next week up in Townsville. So Cowboys got a bit to work on for that. But I just want to say, this is what the Cowboys get. This is what we get for not playing Drinkwater. We really miss that attacking spark. Drinkwater's one of those players where he can create something out of nothing. That's exactly what we missed. Now, look.
I don't know if you agree with me
on
on
this. Really good game at 5'8". Hammer was good at times, but needs to get more involved in the fucking game. Townsend was awful. Townsend did not have a good game. He was average. I like Chad Townsend. I think he'll be good for us as the year goes on. But he just had a shocker tonight. It's as simple as that. He didn't play well. Reece Robson, good. Got tired. Grenville came on and was arguably probably one of our best players. We probably should have won the game, but we didn't. We kind of just blew it, to be fair.
It was a type of game where both teams were they didn't look up to par for anything. I think the only players that really gave it a go at the Cowboys was, Peter Hicker or Tommy Deard, and that's about it, and Hammer.
Yeah, Peter Hicker was good. We will get into the players who were good as well, but I think Chad Townsend's a really good halfback, but man, he just needs to
control the team a lot more than
he needs to dominate a bit more. I feel he needs to dominate a bit more. I think he is a good player. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, Townsend's a shit player. He's the worst halfback in the comp." You can't just say that. That's unfair on him.
It's only one game.
But he just needs to be a bit more dominant, a bit more direct, and I'd like to see him just dominate the ball a bit more. I mean, if you watch the game, our last tackle options, we kept running the ball on the right-hand side. I mean,
I was getting onto that.
It wasn't working.
I think he's really wanted to go out to, Hammer or Hiku, then, either take Townsend, take a kick.
Well, we played so dumb, bro, because we scored our try on the left-hand side with Dearden, with that dummy where he went through. And then after that, we just kept going the other side of the field. It was like, I don't get it. Bro.
It was predictability for the Bulldogs, and that's why they kept catching you out.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs had players go to the fucking HIA bin 100,000 times.
No, bad no bench.
We still couldn't score. Now, look, our defense was good. I'm happy our defense was good. I really am. But our attack needs to work, man. Our attack needs work. All right. Let's get into the game. So in the 15th minute, Tom Gilbert scored the first try of the game, which if you saw my Instagram story, I'm
Great try.
So up Tom Gilbert. I love Tom Gilbert now. Bloody beautiful, man. All right. So Tom didn't put on a dummy. He went straight through. gave it to Tuilagi. He brought Gilbert back on the inside, and Gilbert went in to score for the first try of the game. Mate, what did you think about that Cowboys try? I thought it was outstanding.
It was a very fun try. I really enjoyed it, honestly. Tom Gilbert. I think Tom Gilbert's he's very underrated. That try, man. I really like that try. It's good.
It was a great try. I really enjoyed what I've seen from that try.
Tommy Jeter just runs through the middle and he set that up.
He loves that dummy. He loves doing that dummy. He loves it. All right, now let's get into the next part of the game, which was 22nd minute. Jack Hetherington. Oh my god. Sin binned.
It's not a Bulldogs game without him getting sin binned.
Jack Hetherington got sin binned for, I believe it was discipline because the Bulldogs gave away too many penalties, so he had to go to the bin for too many deliberate hold downs or something. So
he's having a chat as well. Back chat as well.
He went to the sin bin, which I found. I was a little bit surprised about the decision, but sin bin's a sin bin, I guess. Half time, Cowboys 4-0, and I felt like we should have been up maybe 10-0 or maybe 8-0. I feel like 4-0 wasn't really enough. What do you think about that? 4-0 wasn't enough?
Well, clearly now looking at it, it wasn't enough. At the time, I was thinking Cowboys had a lot of opportunities, especially on that the side with Hiku, where they could have created more opportunities to score, but just the errors killed you. The errors killed both teams in that first half, and I wasn't surprised that it was a 4-0 scoreline.
We get to the second half, and the Bulldogs end up scoring through Jaden Ockenbaugh. God, this was such a fucking soft try.
What a surprise.
Marshall King from dummy half to Burns and Ockenbaugh in the corner. Burton kicks the goal from the sideline. Pretty soft try, wasn't it?
It was a very soft try because I remember they were passing out to Burns, and I really think that they could have stopped Burns there, but Burns was too quick with his hands. I'm surprised Jaden Ockenbaugh didn't knock on the ball either. So it was a very soft try. The Cowboys' edge over there was very open, so I think that's something that they need to fix as well.
Yeah, and then we get to the big part of the game, don't we? Up goes the bomb from Townsend. 2 minutes to go. Hess taps it back to the Hammer.
What was Hess doing?
Hammer scores. I, at this point, was screaming like a maniac. I thought we had won the game.
Yeah.
I was going berserk. And after about 40 seconds of thinking that we won the game, they go to the bunker, and I'm thinking, what the fuck for? And the Hammer was offside. And it's not the Hammer's fault because he's too fucking quick. He can't help it. He's
Coach
offside.
Killer. Coach Killer.
And I know everyone on Facebook and Twitter saying, the Cowboys were robbed and blah, blah, blah. Listen, they weren't robbed. We had 80 minutes to win the game, and we did not take enough. We had enough chances to win, and we did not take them, and we lost the game. It's as simple as that. The Bulldogs won. You could say the Cowboys were the better team if you want. You could say the Bulldogs got lucky. You could say anything you want, but it doesn't matter. The Cowboys had more than enough chances to win the game. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. Well deserved. It hurt me as a Cowboys fan. I'm still pissed off about it. Fair enough. Bulldogs won. And the other thing I want to mention, the Averillo no try. The on-field decision was no try. Were you happy with that decision?
No, I was not. Me personally, looking at that first sight, I think it was a try at first.
Yeah.
I think I have to look more into it because it's a bit of mix because it's like, did he get it or no? I think he did, but I'll have to look back at it because I've only seen it once. I've never really gone back to replay and watch it. I
don't think you can give it a try. I think it's the right decision. The on-field call was no try. You've got to have conclusive evidence to overturn that decision. Averillo went to reach out, and then the Hammer ripped the ball out of his hands, and the ball was on the Cowboys' hands. You could not see the ball hit the grass at any stage. So you've got to go with the on-field call, which I think was the right decision. But I can understand where people are coming from. People think he scored it. I don't think he did. I think the on-field call was no try, so it's hard to really overturn that. Really.
Yeah, look, it was a very there's no other words just to say. It was just a sloppy game. That there was no entertainment or anything. No.
The only thing I'm happy with, mate, is our defense. That's it. That's the only thing I'm happy about.
Yeah, your defense really held up tonight. I think that's one of the good signs for the Cowboys. Obviously you're up against a new Bulldogs team, but you held them to zero for almost the whole hour of the game. So I think that's something to take a
We
positive
kept the
into.
Bulldogs 0 for 51 minutes, which is good, but it would have been good to do it for 80 minutes. Now,
Considering the amount of chances they had as well.
yeah, exactly. And look, the other thing I want to mention as well is I'm not having a whinge, but I'm just gonna say this once. When Kyle Felt made that break and Josh Jackson tackled him, and they said Kyle Felt knocked the ball on, that was a dead set professional foul. That was a fucking professional foul. That should have been 10 minutes in the bin. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the only thing I will whinge about.
No, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
That's the only thing I will whinge about this game. That should have been a professional foul. That's all I'm gonna whinge about. Everything else I can deal with. But
What about the Jake Granville on report?
oh, this decision. Oh, okay. So we defended the Bulldogs well. They couldn't even get out of their 20. Granville dives about 8 meters from the ball, and it hits Burton on the leg, and the ball goes out in the full. And then they just say, "Oh no, it's a penalty." I mean, Granville dived about 7 to 8 meters away from Burton. I mean, what's Granville meant to do? I mean, he's just trying to make the tackle. I mean, I don't think it was a dangerous tackle. I thought it was just.
The thing is, Granville also got back in that same play. What was happening?
Yeah, look, I thought that was a bit of a tough call. But look, it didn't cost us the game. The Bulldogs deserved the win. Credit to them. I'm hurt. Obviously, it fucking hurt me, but well done to the Dogs. Congratulations. Now, Cowboys ratings. We're just going to go through them real quick. Hammer. What do you think about the Hammer at fullback? I thought he was solid.
I think he had a really good game. He was involved in a lot of the big plays for the Cowboys. So, yeah, I think Hammer he's up there for my man of the match, one of them.
Yeah. I thought Kyle Feld also had a solid game.
Kyle Feld had a solid. Yeah, he was all right. I think there's a lot more that he could have done, but he did the things that he had to do.
He can get the bloody ball. Yeah, Murray Talangi had a really good game too, didn't he? He looked solid.
Yeah, I really rate Murray Talangi. I liked what he did out there tonight.
Valentine Holmes had a good first half, had a quiet second half, didn't he?
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of Dave Fafita. He's in and out the game.
Yeah,
First half,
the game, yeah.
Really well, second
Peter Hiku, I thought Peter Hiku was very good.
Oh, he was great.
Tom Dearden was very good.
Best half out there.
Chad Townsend had a disappointing game.
Not up to par tonight.
Jermaine Tennell-Brown was dog shit.
He was. Was he playing? I didn't even know. Fuck.
It was shit house. I never ever want to see him start again. Reece Robson was fairly good, wasn't he? Robson.
He did what he had to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Tamalolo, I feel sorry for him at the moment, but I thought he was solid.
Tried his guts out, but Payton doesn't know what to do.
Tom Gilbert, in my opinion, our best player.
Tom Gilbert was outstanding that try, man, and after that.
Jeremiah Nanai was fairly good as well.
I think he was great. Besides the errors, he had a really great game, I reckon.
Mitchell Dunn, oh, God, I don't want to see him start again either.
He didn't do nothing.
Cohen Hess off the bench was very good, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was good, except for that final play.
Hillam Lukey had a solid game, but he had a couple of errors, and then he did that with that disgusting third man tackle.
He was silly for doing that. I won't be surprised if he misses out next week.
I won't be surprised if he gets suspended for doing that. That was a dirty tackle, man. I hate that tackle. It happened in the Melbourne game against the Tigers last night, and it's such a dirty tackle. It's uncalled for, man.
No, it's stupid of him to do, and he's going to miss a week or something for that.
Yeah, Jordan McLean had a good game. I thought McLean was actually off the bench. He was good, wasn't he?
I was surprised when he came on for. I think he came on for Tamalolo, was it?
I can't remember who he came on for.
But yeah, he came on, and he's a much better player than what I thought he would be.
Jake Granville was outstanding when he came on. He brought a lot.
He is that type of player that every club needs. He just comes on, adds that balance of experience and that utility role he can play. So Jake Granville is outstanding. Yeah.
Go for the Bulldogs real quick, mate. I want to wrap this up very soon. Dufty, I thought he had a good game, Dufty.
Yeah, he was all right. Nothing too special, but he was all right.
Ockenball was good. I thought for the Dogs. What'd you make of Ockenball?
fucking annoys me, Jaden Knockenball. He was good for that try, but other than that, he doesn't even know how to hold a ball properly. So
Yeah, Josh Adokar, he had some nice touches, didn't he, Adokar?
yeah, he was all right for his debut, but yeah, he had a lot of opportunities to get through, defensive line, but he didn't run through it. So
Yeah, I thought Braden Burns was quiet.
Braden Burns, yeah, he really did nothing but assists. So
Brent Naden had a good game, I thought.
yeah, second half, I reckon he stood out a bit more. Brent Naden.
Matt Burton was all right as well. Those kicks he was
But
doing all night were a fucking nightmare.
Burden he was outstanding, mate. I really liked what he did tonight.
Avarillo had a pretty average game.
Yeah, he wasn't nothing too special.
Siamana Fanai for Canterbury was good, wasn't he? Siamana Fanai.
Oh, he's a definition of redemption. He's coming to that Canterbury side. He's been one of the best players since this summer.
Paul Vaughan had a shit game.
Mate, fuck Paul Vaughan.
He had a shocker. Marshall King was solid.
He thought it was a halfback half the time.
The what?
He was playing like a halfback half the time.
Jack everything was shit.
Yeah, he gets sent to the bin. That's basically his game.
Corey Waddell was fucking shit.
How many set restarts and how many balls does he want to give away?
I don't know how many. It was shocking. Josh Jackson was shocking too, wasn't he?
No, he didn't stand up in the leadership at all.
Luke Thompson off the bench was outstanding.
I really like Luke Thompson. He's mate, the hit ups he was doing was amazing.
Max King looked pretty good off the bench, didn't he?
It was all right for Max King standard, yeah.
And then Valley Don the Oddie was pretty quiet, wasn't he? And Chris Patello was all right too.
He was all right. Hope he's all right as well. He found his HIA, so.
Yeah, and Aaron Schoff came on for about 10 minutes and he did fine.
Did an all right job, I reckon. But yeah.
What do you think the Cowboys need to work on, mate? Obviously, defense wasn't really much of a problem, but what do the Cowboys have to work on to try and beat Cameron next week up in Townsville?
I think the Cowboys need to work on, their attack and their opportunities. When they get, and ball handling as well. I think, Cowboys ball handling and creativity tonight was not there. The amount of opportunities North Queensland had, they didn't take it to, what they could have. And, going up against a team like Canberra, we also had a performance on the Friday. Cowboys have a lot to work on. I think they need to play Tamalalo more minutes next week.
Yep.
And, look, I think Scott Drinkwater needs to be in the 17.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. And I think Ruben Cotter was a big loss tonight. I think he'll come back in next week. Drinkwater, I don't know where you're playing, but he needs to be in this team somewhere just to spark that extra attack and that extra creativity. I think last tackle options need to improve as well. I think we ran the ball too many times. We didn't kick enough, and I think we just lost the game because of our own stupidity. We lost the game because it was just the way we played. It was just stupid.
Yeah.
Who would your top three players be on Grant if you can name three who were good?
For North Queensland,
Canterbury, whatever. Top three on ground in the match.
I think Tommy Gilbert was my man of the match for the game. I think Peter Hiku. And I'll give one to the Dogs. I'll go Luke Thompson.
Yeah, all right then. Well, I'm going to go with, number 3. I'm going to go with Tom Dearden. Number 2, I'm going to go with Jeremy Marshall King for number 2. Number 1, you know what? Even though the Cowboys lost, I reckon Tom Gilbert was best player on the field.
Yeah, 100%.
Tom Gilbert man the match. Even though Cowboys were defeated, I still feel Tom Gilbert was arguably best player on the field for me. So Gilbert's my man the match. The Bulldogs win. It hurts me. It really hurts me. But
tough week for tips as well.
Yeah, mate. Before we go, how many tips did you get right this weekend?
3 out of 8.
I got friggin' 1, 2. I got 3 right. I got Dragons and Storm and Eels. Everything else wrong.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I think that's exactly the mine as well.
I had a shocker for round 1, 3 out of 8. If anyone got 8 out of 8, you must be some sort of time predicting genius or something. But sorry, out, man. Anyway, guys, that's it for the Sunday football review. The Eels have beaten the Titans 32 points to 28, and the Bulldogs have beaten the Cowboys 6 points to 4. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe, and CJ, mate, thanks for coming on the review.
Yeah, all good, man. Always good to come on and talk some footy. Just grateful the footy's back and bring on round 2.
Yeah, bring on round 2, and hopefully the Cowboys and the Rabbitohs both bounce back next week. Everyone, go check out CJ Moxley's YouTube channel. Links in the description below. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night. I'm going to go lay in the corner and cry myself to sleep after that. But anyway, thanks for watching. And, yeah, fuck the dogs.